and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, good morning everybody. Hello TV Guy, Australia. Hello Oswald on Twitch. Oh gosh, it's the start of the day. I've not quite woken up yet, but it is 9:35 here in the UK. So we're well into the morning, and we are just starting one of our bi-weekly. Well, I only did it once last week, but I'm going to do it twice this week. South Downs Way training session. 500 metres of climb, over 4 kilometres. What I normally do is I walk out the first 200, 300 metres or so just to get my legs used to the incline of the treadmill. And then we'll get going. We need to go about 4.15 kilometres, just under 4.2 kilometres to get to the full 500 metres of climbing. and you can see how much I've climbed in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. It currently says 24 meters. So I have my treadmill set on 12% incline. That's the highest my treadmill goes, 12% incline. I've got a proper chest strap on. Andrew Cutmore, good morning to you, buddy. I've got my chest strap on, so we'll get decent heart rate. There's no point in having power. So I've got my Stride foot pod on, but there's no point in having power on the screen or really recording power on Zwift because it will be a useless number because the Stride does not take into account your incline. I can record it, and I am recording it on the Stride app because you can manually put in your incline on the Stride app and it takes that into account. So, Oswald is trying to join but can't find me. I'll tell you why you can't find me. I've just realised I'm on the New York because I was messing about with some stuff this last night, and I was on, and I changed the world to New York, and I didn't change it back. So my sincere apologies, Oswald. You probably won't be able to run with me unless you can change your world to New York, and then you can find me. But New York currently isn't one of the offered worlds. It's not one of the guest worlds, so unless you know how to change worlds, you can't do it. Right, I suppose I should get running, really. So yes, sorry to anyone, because sometimes Tina Beard comes along, Clive Finnimore comes and joins me sometimes. So you guys, if you are watching, I'm really sorry you can't join today. Well, you can join if you know how to change worlds to New York. Okay, here we go. Start a little jog now. The avatar won't do anything different though, he's going to carry on walking. Right, Andrew Cutmore says, any ideas? My last 2 runs have been erratic with HR, very high, and they should not have been. Well, the first question is, what heart rate monitor are you using? If you're using wrist-based HR, then I've got some more questions for you. If you're using a chest strap, then that's different. Again, what chest strap are you using? But most chest straps should be okay. Obviously, check the usual things, battery and all that. Oh, Clive. Okay, so Oswald76 on Twitch is Clive. Hello, Clive. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, my fault. I just didn't change the world back. Okay, Clive's going to run in Richmond. I'll race you, Clive. First one to 500 metres. Yes, Andrew, so I've recently had some problems with my optical HR on my wrist, and I finally nailed down what it is, or what it was. So because I wear the Stride foot pod, when I've been running outdoors, recently my HR has been latching onto cadence, and it's been very high and incorrect. And I've worked out that it was because I had started wearing my... Oh, hang on a minute. I don't want to go left, I want to go right. I mean, I don't want to go right, I want to go left. I'd started wearing my Stride foot pod on my right foot. So my watch is on my left hand, on my left wrist, and my Stride foot pod was changed to my right foot. And for some reason, that started to drastically interfere with optical heart rate. So I've changed the foot pod back to my left foot, and everything is fine again. Which is bizarre, I know. Must just be something about the way the Bluetooth signal propagates through the air. It interferes when it's on my left foot, but not when it's on my right foot. It interferes when it's on my right foot, but not when it's on my left foot. Clive is at 4% in Richmond. So if you're wearing a foot pod, Andrew, try changing the foot pod to the other foot, and that might solve your problem. But any other information you can give me, that'd be good. Paul Schroeder, thank you for your ride on. Right, we want to head to the Com Arch. That's where we want to go. We're on New York's upper roadways, skyways, that obviously don't exist in real life. And look, we are now matching 12%. It's 13 now on the course, but so just 4.2 kilometres and we'll get to 500 metres. It'll only take us another half an hour or so, 34 minutes. So fairly quick session, and I am not live streaming tonight. I'm going out with my real world running club tonight for a laugh, for a change. So we won't be live tonight, we'll be back Wednesday evening UK time, 7:30 for Wednesday workout. So we're over 100 metres climbed already, less than 400 metres climbed to go. Once again, it feels like I've tied my shoelace far too tight on my right foot. Andrew says he'll be changing the battery and see if that helps. Andrew, is it a chest strap then? Always make sure you wet the connections. If it's a chest strap, one of the main reasons for dodgy heart rates, but certainly early on in a run, is if your connection between the chest strap and your skin is not good. And that happens when your skin is dry. So make sure, I usually spit on the connections and then kind of rub them onto my chest to make sure they stick nicely. Okay, here we go, 1 kilometre done. So just increase the speed to 6 kilometres an hour now, slightly quicker. Okay, so so Andrew has the Ticker chest strap. Honestly, Andrew, the Ticker is usually great. So yeah, change the battery. Make sure the connections are wet when you start running, or just do a little warm up before you start running to get some sweat going. And if you're still getting high heart rate, then maybe you're not very well, maybe it is something physiological rather than technical. I mean, it's usually technical, it's usually a technical fault, but you never know. Oh, we've got a rider on with us. Wally from Norway is riding on New York. So I'm not the only one in New York today. Good stuff. TV guy says he did the Zwift Academy Run Workout 1 and he did it at 110%. And he said it was interesting to see the slight difference between that and the 100% run. I did feel I worked just a little harder by the end of it. Yeah, just gets you closer to that 5k pace that it's supposed to be rather than the 10k pace that it's accidentally been programmed at. Incorrectly been programmed at. Alright, heart rate 128. So gradually going into zone 2 now. Just working a little bit harder. Don't want to work very hard though. Barry Allen, good morning. Are you running in Eastbourne on Sunday? I am indeed. I will be doing the Beachy Head Marathon on Sunday morning. I think I start around 8:30 in the morning. So I need to get up nice and early to get across there. It's about 30 miles or so from here. So a little bit of a drive in the morning to get there. And yeah, going to go and give it a good old blast actually. My best time on that course is 3:38. So as close as I can get to that would be great. If I can get 3:38 again, I'd be very pleased. And if it looks like I'm getting close to 3:38, I'll try and push it even harder to get 3:37. But you just don't know how you're going to feel on these days. Some days you feel great, other times not so much, so we'll see how it goes. I think I'd be disappointed if I was over 4 hours this time. Previously, I've been quite happy with 4 hours for that Beachy Head Marathon. But I think I would like to get under 4 hours at least. And if I can get close to my PB time on that course, that'd be great. Andrew Cutmore says, since getting the new treadmill, I can run at 13 kilometers an hour, but I couldn't on the old one. It was too fast. Why is that? 13 kilometers an hour was top speed on my old machine. Because your old machine, my guess is, right, there's different possibilities. One is that you weren't actually running at 13 kilometers an hour. And it was just because the motor was so poor, you were having to work a lot harder and it felt a lot more difficult to run at that speed just because the belt drag, the motor, you're helping the motor along because it's so weak. The other option is that it was a badly calibrated treadmill and actually the top speed of 13 kilometers an hour was in fact faster than 13 kilometers an hour. I don't know for sure. But bad, poor treadmills, knackered old treadmills or budget domestic treadmills make you work a lot harder. Whereas a really good, calibrated and strong, powerful treadmill will make it feel more like you run outside. So, you know, you should be able to run at 13 kilometers an hour on your new treadmill with the same kind of effort that you run 13 kilometers an hour outdoors. Okay, 1.5 kilometers in. 3.5 to go. No, 2.5 only 2.5 to go. My goodness. Oh, Barry, if you do see me, give me a shout. I'm probably going to wear my Worthing Harriers running vest as opposed to my Zwift running vest. It's a big local club event, the Beachy Head Marathon, so I may wear my local club vest. TV guy's going to go and off and do the group run, the Zwift Academy group run. Take care. See you later.
Nice.
Barry, give me a shout if you see me. I'll be taking it nice and easy up that first hill. There's 200 metres climbed, 1.6 kilometres done. So when we get to 2 kilometres, exactly 2 kilometres should be exactly 240 metres climbed. All, thank you very much. Nice cool breeze blowing in from the doors behind me. I haven't got the fan on, but I feel all right. Heart rate is good, 125, so knocking around the middle of zone 2, nice and easy. All about getting the elevation into your calf muscles and running on the balls of your feet, making the calf muscles do the work. So it's not about heart rate, it's not about a cardio session. This is not a cardio session. Well, I mean, it is a cardio session because everything's a cardio session. But we're not, the aim is not to get the heart rate high. If anything, the aim is to try and keep the heart rate low while doing the hard work. So on a 100-mile race, you want to keep your heart rate as low as possible for the whole race, because you know you don't want to burn out in a race like that. You have a long way to go and you'll be totally shattered. But there will be a lot of hills, certainly in the South Downs Way 100 that I'm doing, and so you want to be able to climb like this, gentle, slow running up a hill, and keep your heart rate low, so you don't feel completely shattered when you get to the top of the hill. And that means you get the run done quicker because you're not walking up the hill. No doubt I will walk up many of the hills though. But if I can run up a few and keep my heart rate nice and low, all the better. Alright, Clive is playing catch up now. He's coming up on me, he's done 175 metres. I don't know if you can see, there we are, that says 12 there, that's my incline, 12% incline on the treadmill, and here that says 6, which is the speed that I'm going. Oh my goodness, okay, so Clive is running at 8 kilometres an hour at 12% incline. You're a madman. I'm not, I'm only going to get to 7 kilometres an hour, and that's only in the last kilometre. Okay, so 2 kilometres done, 140 metres climbed. Up we go to 6.5 kph. After 22 minutes of running, about 17 or 18 minutes left to go. Clive's heart rate though, mind you, mine's not far off. Clive's heart rate is 140. Mine's 131, 132. But I am talking a lot. If I shut up for a minute, See if I can bring the heart rate down.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Thanks, Vaughn. Show you my stats. Oh, I shouldn't say. Oh yes, of course, because we're not in an event. So that's Monday Run Club leftover from last night. Park to peak. Speed device is the treadmill. Heart rate device is the Garmin HRM Pro. Cadence device is the treadmill. We've got power from the stride, although not really bothered about that. And my current all-time distance is 4,955. So by the end of this run, we'll be up to 4,959. So we're getting closer to 5,000 kilometres on Zwift. Minutes to go. Haven't really managed to bring the heart rate down much. We're stuck at 131 BPM. There or thereabouts.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Burton Radio, thank you. I love these glass roads in New York. They're absolutely superb. Such a good course, New York. Right, there we are at 2.5 kilometres now, so just 1.5 kilometres to go. And 300 metres climbed, exactly there.
Right on!
Vidar, thank you very much, buddy.
Nice!
Vidar says he did the Run Academy workout number 1 last night and enjoyed it. Well done. Good job. And a couple of days' time and it'll be workout number 2 on the cards.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Thank you, Ben Johansson. Cheers, buddy. He gets an air horn as well. "28 minutes done. About 11 and a half to go. 11 or 12 actually, because we're going to do a little bit extra than 4 kilometres.
Right on.
Okay, thank you. Just on the off chance that you're watching and you've never seen this before and you're wondering what's going on, this is Zwift Running. It's a virtual running game and there are lots of different courses that you can run on in Zwift, and I just happen to have chosen one that isn't available to the public. So that's why there's nobody else on the course. Well, actually, there are 19 other people on this particular course who also have access to some of the worlds that are not available. They go around in rotation, and so New York here that we're on now will be publicly available in a few days. It's just that I was doing some testing, so I wanted to jump onto a world where nobody would be. So we're going to carry on going up to the Calm Arch, the King of the Mountain archway at the top. I don't know whether we'll actually get there. Yes, Bal, hello, buddy.
Nice.
Coming up to 3k now. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 6k done. No, there's 3k done. So now we go up to 7 kilometers per hour for the final kilometer and a bit. Vidar says, I haven't done the group run yet. Do people take it as a race? Some people do. I've done one. I didn't take it as a race. I just jogged it through. I don't know if towards the end of the Zwift Run Academy there will be some actual races, like defined as races. But these ones, the group runs are just defined as group runs. So not necessarily races. But obviously some people will race them. Right, steep bit here. I mean, well, it's all the same for me. I'm at 12% anyway, but the actual course itself is steep. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift Running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod, like the Zwift Pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. So that's how to get set up on Zwift. And then you can go to the Zwift website or the Zwift companion app and choose different group runs or races that you want to do. Right, just about 6 minutes to go now. We are getting there. We're over 400 metres in. 400 metres climbed, about 900 metres of running left. Another steep climb on the course coming up. Right, that's 3.5 kilometres now. So about 600 metres, just over 600 metres left to run. And just under 880 metres left to climb. Not 880. And Clive Finnimore has almost caught me up. 402 metres for Clive. Heart rate 145 for him. Heart rate 142 for me. So we're about the same, Clive. You're working harder than I am. Doing a good job. Mine, I've just gone up to 145 there, just touched it. And Clive is on 3.66 kilometres. So I'm on 3.5. So yeah, you've done well, Clive. Give you that. Good job. Vidar, no, I was doing a bit of testing. And I went, so I used Zwift Preferences app to put myself on a world which isn't on the guest map. So this New York currently isn't one of the guest worlds, which is why I'm on my own. Heart rate 145. Not long to go. About 3 minutes left now. 55 metres left to climb. 400 metres left to run. And on the course itself, this is an 18% climb, this bit. Levelling out a little bit now, 16%, 15. should just make it to the Com Arch. So Clive's going to get to the end before me. After this, I must remember to change my world back to the normal worlds. So 3.9, nearly there, 470, 30 metres left to climb. Still at 12% incline on the treadmill, 7 kilometres an hour. We are right at the top now of the New York course. This is the highest point you can get to on the New York course. Seconds before we hit 4K. And it should be exactly 480. There it is, 480 metres climbed. So we just need to do our last 20 metres now. And that'll take us to about 4.1 something, 4.15 kilometres. There's 4.1, 7 metres left, 6, oh look, there's the Com Arch over there. Maybe we should run to that. Wonder how much further it is. Well, we've made it to 500 metres now. Let's just do a little bit more and we'll get to the Com Arch. And Clive is going to go to 5K at 1%. Well done, Clive. Great job, buddy. Sorry I couldn't run with you. My fault.
My dad a ride on.
Zen Studio and Von, thank you very much, guys. And here's the Com. Looks like a nice place to finish, nice finish line. Yeah, this is the highest point you can get to on Zwift, on New York. Don't often get up here, so good place to come to. Cheers, Clive. Okay, here we go. Through the arch. 530 metres we've climbed today. Heart rate 142. And there we are. Okay, Andrew Fisher says, how long doing this do you feel you start to see the benefits? I'm looking at incorporating a session like this once a week. Andrew, hill sessions should be part of your regular running regime. Your training, whatever you're training for, doesn't matter what you're training for, you should always try and include some hill work in your training. It's great for stamina, it's great for your cardiovascular system, it's great for building up your calf muscles. I mean, especially if you've got hilly races, but even if you've got races that are just flat, even if your races are just flat, it's worth incorporating hill sessions because it will make you stronger. I can't tell you when I started to see the benefits because I've been doing hill training as long back as I can remember, so the benefits have always kind of been there, I hope. The benefits that you should find are you're able to go faster on the flat for the same heart rate, or even a lower heart rate, because you're stronger and your cardiovascular system is better at distributing oxygen to the muscles. You have more mitochondria in your muscles, which can convert the oxygen into energy, or convert the glycogen into energy that can be used by the muscles. You'll have more capillaries, which can transfer the blood between the muscles. So you'll have a more efficient cardiovascular and blood oxygen distribution system around your body. Simple as that. I said simple as that, didn't sound simple, did it? But yeah, just every week at least one hill session will do you no end of good. But you know, hill session, interval session, speed session, long run. That's basically your mantra. Hill session, speed session, speed session, interval session, long run. That's what you should be doing, and then also slow recovery runs as well to add into the mix. Dean, I'm a fan from Malaysia. Hello, Dean. Wait.
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, Dean. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Sorry to Clive, who tried to join me, and I made the mistake of going to New York last night and not changing it back. So I was on a world that was not accessible to a lot of people. You can, if you want to go on any of the worlds, by the way, including France, Paris. The only ones you can't do are Bologna and Crit City. Download an app. If you're using a computer, a Mac or a PC, download an app called Zwift Preferences. Look it up, Zwift Preferences. And at any time, you can choose any of the 8-9 worlds that we've got on Zwift now, and you can just go and run on them whenever you want. You don't have to be confined to the guest worlds or Watopia. Alright, so there we are. Andrew Fisher says, fantastic, thanks Stephen. I have a pretty low base to start with. I come from a squash background, so great at sprints, but this looks like a great session to put in. I've enjoyed the ones I've done so far. Andrew, so there are two kinds of hill sessions, by the way. So just the one I've just done is a low heart rate session, and it's primarily about strengthening the legs. But you can also do an equivalent of a speed session incorporating hills. So you go as hard as you can up the hill and then recover on the downhill if you do it outside. Hard as you can up the hill, recover on the downhill. So you do it as intervals and you do it as a cardio session. So that would be high heart rate, getting the heart rate into zone 4 and even zone 5. This was a different kind of hill session. This was a strength session, strengthening the calf muscles in the legs and deliberately trying to keep the heart rate low. And that's why I was going so slowly. So there we are. Okay, that's that done. I'm going for a shower and I will see you all tomorrow. I'm not on tonight. I'm going out with the Real Running Club tonight because I don't do that very often these days. So we're going to go and run with them tonight, and we'll be back on for Wednesday workout tomorrow evening, UK time 7:30. See you all then. Take care. Bye-bye.